how does Xbox Activision merge impact PlayStation? Hello friends, welcome back to Hyper Games. My name is Joseph and today we have a huge report to go over with Microsoft announcing it's acquiring Activision Blizzard. How does that affect PlayStation? Let's discuss. Alright, so over at Xbox Wire, Phil Spencer announced they're welcoming the incredible teams and legendary franchises of Activision Blizzard to Microsoft Gaming. Their press release says, "We're incredibly excited to have the chance to work with the amazing, talented, dedicated people across Activision Publishing, Blizzard Entertainment, Beenox, Demonware, Digital Legends, High Moon Studios, Infinity Ward, King, Major League Gaming, Radical Entertainment, Raven Software, Sledgehammer Games, Toys for Bob, Treyarch, and every team across Activision Blizzard. The deal is one of the biggest in gaming, with Microsoft paying $68.7 billion, which is not even close to their biggest that was LinkedIn at $26.2 billion in 2016, and it dwarfs ZeniMax $8.1 billion that saw Bethesda join in a couple years ago. This brings Xbox first-party roster close to 30 studios and adds more than 35 IPs, including the obvious ones in Call of Duty, Diablo, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Candy Crush, and StarCraft, plus other games like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, and more. Following up with the press release, until this transaction closes, Activision Blizzard and Microsoft Gaming will continue to operate independently. Once the deal is complete, the Activision Blizzard business will report to me as CEO Microsoft Gaming, that's Phil Spencer. Upon close, we will offer as many Activision Blizzard games as we can within Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass, both new titles and games from Activision Blizzard's incredible catalog. So the big question here is what happened to Activision games on PlayStation platforms, and it's something that not only affects PlayStation but Nintendo as well. Phil Spencer provided an answer to Bloomberg saying that it's not their intent to pull communities away from their platforms, and we remain committed to that. A quote very similar to what he said when acquiring Bethesda. And from what we have seen with that deal, we know what we can expect for PlayStation, in that current games are going to continue to be supported on the platform, and that includes Call of Duty games like Vanguard and Warzone with their seasons, and from Blizzard like the recent remaster for Diablo 2 or seasons for Diablo 3 to name a few. Current deals like the PlayStation and Call of Duty marketing exclusivity will probably be ending soon, since it started around 2018 with Black Ops 3 and should have around 1 or 2 more years if it was inked for 5 years. It should end with this year's or 2023's Call of Duty, which will likely be honored, and with the Microsoft deal probably closing in mid-2023, we could even have a funny situation with Xbox promoting the game on PlayStation, or having even exclusive items or modes for that year's game. Then we get into games or DLC in development, including those we know of and ones we might not know yet, be it exclusive or multi-platform. And just like Microsoft honored Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo from Bethesda, those will be honored as well. So games like Overwatch 2, Diablo 4, main Call of Duty games, any non-games as service stuff they make, not that they have a lot left, but examples are any new Tony Hawk, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, or whatever new IP they release for at least the next 2 years will probably release on the intended platforms, and that may include PlayStation. After that period, anything can happen, and there are talks of Call of Duty being so big that it's impossible to keep exclusive, but if we go by recent Bethesda game announcements like Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, it will likely be an Xbox exclusive. Although Bloomberg mentions, according to a person familiar with Microsoft thinking, they may keep some Activision Blizzard games on PlayStation after the merge is complete, but we'll have to wait and see. So another question is, how will PlayStation respond to this? Will they go out and buy any big publishers like EA, 2K, Square, Capcom? Well, even after Microsoft Bethesda acquisition, nothing has pointed out at Sony looking to purchase any big publishers. They have gone after studios that have worked with them for years like Housemarque, Bluepoint, or Firesprite, support studios like Nixxes or Valkyrie Entertainment, and they have second-party partnership with new forming studios like Firewalk or Jay Raymond's Haven, or some they have worked with like Kojima Productions. So I don't think they will look to acquire any major companies. If anything, they may try to boost their partnership with more studios or even go after more specific title exclusivity, like what they have done in the past with titles like Final Fantasy VII Remake, Deathloop, or the upcoming Final Fantasy XVI and Ghostwire Tokyo. They also have all their current first-party studios working on exclusive games like Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, plus the upcoming Wolverine game, and they have been able to launch successful IPs like Ghost of Tsushima recently, with PC releases now part of their strategy, giving more eyes to them, besides the launch of PlayStation VR 2, so there's still plenty of unique titles and stuff happening around to have a PS4 or PS5. The move from Microsoft only makes them the third largest gaming company by revenue behind Tencent and Sony, so Sony should look at smart partnerships that bolster their catalog to be prepared when Activision games go full exclusive, but still think they won't need a major acquisition and they probably can't keep up with Microsoft's game. There's a lot more to this news, with people thinking it may not go through since it borders on monopoly, but there are experts saying it still doesn't put Microsoft in a controlling position, so it will likely complete the purchase. And there's obviously the issues with harassment and inequality that were exposed late last year, which in part makes me question Microsoft's statement back then of quote-unquote reconsidering their partnership with Activision given those issues, while also planning to purchase the company. Plus, there's the fact that Bobby Kotick will remain as CEO while the deal is finalized. However, it's not known and they probably can't talk about it yet if they will keep him after that, and according to him, he will be available as needed. Hopefully this will help improve the cultural and workplace environment issues there as soon as possible for studios and the workforce to perform at their best. In terms of gaming, it gives a huge value to Game Pass that those games are going to be there and launching day and date as part of that subscription, so we'll have to wait and see what Sony announces with Project Spartacus and how they aim to compete against a service that keeps on getting better and better. And even being mostly a PlayStation gamer, I'm also happy about the freedom some studios may have after this, since most have been put into Call of Duty support mode for quite a while. If they can bring more games like Crash Bandicoot, Tony Hawk, Spyro, and new IPs, it's a win for gaming in general, even if they are not on PlayStation. It only makes more reason for me at least to have both platforms. So there you have it, all the information and my thoughts on the recent Activision Blizzard acquisition from Xbox and how it might affect PlayStation. But what do you guys think? Do you think this makes Xbox a monopoly? Will this make you consider going Xbox only or having both consoles, keep playing those games on PC? Will PlayStation respond to this by acquiring someone, or will they remain with the same strategy that has worked so far? Share your thoughts in the comments below, like or dislike to share your feedback, check out other videos you may like while you're here, including how Sony first-party studios push for PC releases, and consider subscribing for more PlayStation content. Thank you so much for watching, my name's Joseph, this is Hype for Games, and let's get hype!